Welcome or welcome back to a brand new video on my YouTube channel. Today's going to be a little bit different because one, I don't know what to do, and two, I'm a bit out of sort because if you have watched two videos ago, you would have seen this sketch on the left-hand side of my sketchbook. In the video, I'm drawing a fox looking at a bunch of hanging apples. And if you look closely in that video, as I said, you will see on the left-hand side a sketch for the other page matching it. That video was like 2 weeks ago, I think I posted it, and I've only just got round to actually editing this footage, and I didn't think I had it actually, to be honest. And I realized that it was on a different camera, so I downloaded it and decided to use it as a video. But having said that, I haven't got anything to really say about that piece. But what I can do is, I think what I'm going to do is go over my process for doing these kind of sketches. I know most of my work in my sketchbook, in this sketchbook at least, has been markers and almost I would call them finished illustrations and not really sketches or doodles or anything like that. They're more finished pieces than that. So what I always start with is a sketch. And if you look at all my videos, I always pre draw the sketch because my sketches are really tight and they take me a really long time to do, just because I want to get everything as perfect as I can. And then I kind of let myself loose a little bit when it comes to the inking and the coloring and whatever I'm doing on that piece itself. But my sketches are normally pretty solid, a finished article, and they kind of show me where I want to go with the piece. So yeah, that's the sketch, and then from that sketch, I never do that on YouTube channels or shorts or anything like that, just because I think probably one of the most boring things to watch ever, because it's me drawing a couple of sketchy lines and then erasing, then drawing another couple of sketchy lines. And yeah, that's how it goes for, as I say, quite a while with my sketches. The second part of my process on these kind of sketches is normally I like to put down some alcohol marker, whether that's the full colors. I normally go with the lighter colors first. I'm in an R in here because I do this different depending on what I'm doing. Sometimes I ink first, sometimes I color first, but normally I tend to try and color at least the lightest sections first before I ink, just because sometimes you never know what's going to happen with your ink lines, especially with alcohol markers. They tend to bleed all over the place, and if your inks aren't quite dry, then you're gonna make a big mess and ruin your pieces. And I've definitely done that in the past. So yeah, normally I would lay down like a flat color or a light colors first. So if there's a white or yellows or skin tones or things like that, then I normally go with those first before I ink, just to get them, make sure I don't smudge anything and go with there. I'm not the best at alcohol markers. I know some people do absolute masterpieces with blending and things like that, but I'm horrible with blending. I think I'm getting better, and I would like to push some pieces a little bit more, but I do like just the way a flat alcohol one color piece looks. And yeah, so that's what I kind of do. I do the character first. So for this example on screen, you'll see that I would have done the dog first before any of the background elements. And in fact, in this piece particularly, there's no actual sketch in the background. So it was just a flat, it was an empty space basically. So I decided to color that in one go. You'll see that towards the end, I think, unless it's already on the screen. I'm not looking at this video while I'm doing this voiceover. Probably not the best thing to do in the world, but we'll carry on. So yeah, once I've done, let's just say we did the flats first, the alcohol markers first, the coloring first. I like to go over that sometimes with a shadow color, so like a light purple. Sometimes I do this first as well, just so it blends blends those colors in a little bit nicer when it goes over the top. Again, for this is probably the most worst example piece to do a process video on, because all the things that I spoke about, I haven't really done in this piece. There's no shadows in this piece. There's no purple on the undertones. Sometimes I do that, especially if it's like a human character. I will put in some shadows. My tip for shadows is pick a side where the light source is coming from, and then on all of the opposite sides, that's where your shadows go. And if your character's a body part of your character is going across another body part, then there'll be a shadow there. Kind of self-explanatory. Look at pictures, look at photos. They will help you with shadows. This one, this piece, you'll see again, hopefully towards the end, the latter part of the video, you'll see that I've done quite a harsh drop shadow on this, especially on the background. And that's because there wasn't anything drawn in the background. It was just a big open space. And then when I put a flat color down, it kind of looked a bit boring and a little bit like there was something missing. And I didn't know whether it didn't look like it was a wall, or it didn't look like it was the sky or anything like that. So yeah, I decided to do like quite a harsh drop shadow afterwards with a quite a dark gray. So you'll see that there's a light. I'll call it gray. Like a, I don't know, it's a warm gray. I think like a stony gray for the brick and for the wall behind the character. And then over the top of that, I do another type of gray, which is quite a darker gray, and do some drop shadows for where the apples are hanging. And I also put some texture of the brickwork in there as well. So yeah, after I have done the inking, the sketching, the inking, and the coloring, I will then put any final touches, any effects with either a gel pen, or I think you'll see in this one I put some white spots in his eyes, on his nose. I think you'll see as well towards the end, I get a fine liner and put some texture into his fur, and also onto the brick to make it look a bit more rustic, I guess. And yeah, just add a little bit more texture to the piece, stop it being so flat, and just give that illusion of, oh, the dog's got fur, or the brick is weathered or something like that. And that's pretty much it. Sometimes I normally do the backgrounds last. So like I said, with this one, it was a specific background that I wanted. But if you've seen any of my other videos, you'll see that the backgrounds are mostly just either a flat color, or they're a multitude of colors. And normally I do those with acrylic paint markers, just because it's a lot easier just to put big, bold strokes, make a mess, and blend that all in, and layer it on top of each other, and it just gives a decent effect to a sketchbook background. So yeah, I don't know whether this was helpful to anybody, but if it was, leave a comment below if you've got any questions. If it was helpful, leave a like. If you did like this piece, or you want to see more, make sure you're subscribed to the channel, and I will see you guys next time.